a little bit of a video here. This is a before shot. This is obviously the flywheel. As you can see, the old clutch plate was virtually rusted onto that. And just about to take it to the machine shop. And we'll see what happens when it comes back. Should be pretty good. Should be the best $65 we've ever spent. We got it back from the machinist. Come up pretty good. He said that it probably had never been machined before, which is good news. I've just put some oil on it. That's what those stains are. Unfortunately, you could only pull one dowel out. The rest, I knew that was going to happen. They were stuck in there. So we have to drill them out. Now the Land Rover ones sort of managed to pull one out. They're sort of stepped like that. You could probably get them, I'm not sure. Well, I'm not going to wait. I got these generic ones I found. They are the correct diameter. Fit perfectly. I'm not going to nail them home because I'll never get them out. Step one, I'm going to put them on the lathe and just get them to the right diameter in that. Got them all down to the right diameter. We've checked them in the old clutch plate. Now these ones have got a bit of a, like an arrowhead I suppose you'd call it, or something like that. Don't know if it's important. I might just put a little bit on it. So I'll set the headstock to about, looks like it's about 38 degrees. I'll set it to 38 degrees. I'll cut a bit off to the same diameter. Then I'll cut them to length. Then I'll take the other ones out, and hopefully by the end of the day it'll be a nice little project done. Alright, so I've put the first dowel that I made in. There they all are. So they come up okay. I can see the point of doing them like that. It's so they don't come out. They've got like a step in them. So I've put the first one in. I'm not going to use this clutch plate anyway. I've centered the holes and I've punched them out so they came pretty good. I'll take this off now and we'll proceed to drill them out and put the new dowels in. Alright, we're going to put a bit of drop of oil on it. We've got this supported. It's not the best drill press for this, but nonetheless, we'll give it a bash. Yep. We'll do this end. You can hear the drill when it goes through. You don't want to go through the whole flywheel. So that feels like we've gone through the dowel. So that's our first one. Now we'll change our bit. Make sure your bits are nice and sharp. Now always a good idea if you've got a cheap drill press like this one, a handyman one, always chock up your front and that'll keep it nice and level. By rights it should just pop out with a bit of luck. You're going to have to do this incrementally. Just feel for the bottom. You can feel it when you hit the flywheel. That's the flywheel. Stop. As you can see, we pulled out the old remaining bit of the dowel. Right, so we've managed to get the dowels in under much difficulty. They've gone in not too bad. They're not similar to the original, but not quite the same. This is the old clutch plate that we're using just to try it. And Yep. And that all gets bolted down. It'll be good.
As you can see in the photos I'll edit in here, I've tried my best to clamp it and weld it and try and straighten this section that got bent in one of the rear hits. But I've decided to make the big call, and I've just cut this piece off, and I'm going to attempt to make this straight on my bench here and weld it back in. I think that was really my only option. I was really fighting to just get purchase on it and be able to hit in the right way to get it straight. So big call, hopefully I don't regret it. Alright, that's been pretty successful. As you can see, that's pretty straight as a Land Rover should be. It's all nicely welded in, and it's all really strong, so I'm really happy with that. In the meantime, I've also folded this bit of sheet aluminium because this was all missing in the previous accident. I've done some cuts in there that'll get welded up to get that sort of bend profile happening. We need that so that we can put this support in that bolts in somewhere in this area. I can't remember where. I'll have to take some measurements and back to the body over there. And I've also got the that little bracket to go in as well. And then, structurally speaking, this corner will be done. Alright, that's all now completed with the bracket in place and the bolted on support. Next step is to throw these in, the supports for the seats, or the rear seats, or the rear shelf. One of them was missing, so I've just folded up another one to throw in. And I've also been doing some incredibly exciting work, which I didn't bother filming, basically hitting the wire brush all over this section where I'm working. And we've made a bit of a slight change of plans on the on this side, where we decided to fix those spot welds via welding on the unseen areas. I've cut all them off now because it was sort of warping the metal in a way that just wasn't very helpful. So as an interim, we've thrown a bunch of just normal pop rivets in as a temporary measure. And what you can actually buy these flat blind rivets that look a bit more spec. They look like a spot rivet themselves, so they'll look either flat or slightly dinted like the spot welds themselves. So that's all been cleaned up. I've still got to clean up this section as well. That one's done as well, and then I'll be able to turn it over and start hitting the top side. Got him flipped over. Let's have a look at what needs to be done from the top now. As far as these tabs are concerned, we're still deciding on whether we remove them or find replacements and throw them on. It is going to be a hard top car for, well, the rest of its life while we've got it. But yeah, whether or not we add the tie downs as well, just for accuracy's sake, we might, yeah, we'll see how we go. Generally, just going to be general wire brush down and some more panel beading. This corner's still quite bent and dinted in places. I don't know if you can see that. The rails themselves are in actually reasonable condition. The floors come up relatively well since we've sort of straightened it out and welded down that section. Obviously, these rails are going to need some attention. Got a little bit of a nick there as well, but generally speaking, I think we've broken the back of this thing. All right, let's see if we can fix this nasty panel with a little bit of a heat treatment and a little bit of an attitude adjustment with some hammers. Still a little bit more work to do, but we're 90% of the way there. There's still going to be some gouges in there that are going to require a little bit of filler because it was such a really bad sort of accident that's happened to this car. I'm sure a more qualified panel beater wouldn't require it, but that ain't me. Can only do the best that I can do. And as you can see, once we get the panel on there, it matches up really nicely even with the original holes, so we'll call that a success. Alright guys, so we're going to call this side done. I've just gone along and welded up all of the holes that have been placed in there that don't belong and ground them down. Obviously I've done a lot of wire wheeling, a lot of the panel beating has been done as well, up to a sort of about a 90% standard. Over there you can see that I've fixed that rail as well, or the seal for the tailgate. It's all done nice and straight. It's just a matter of using, you know, hammers, shifters, and just jigging it around until you get it all right. The only thing left on this side is obviously there's a couple of holes that still need to be done in that seat. There's a patch to go just down here that I've got to fill up, but generally speaking, unless there's anything interesting that crops up, this will probably be the last time you see this thing until we start preparing it for paint. I may do a quick video on those flat rivets we spoke about, just to show you how they work, but yeah, very happy to nearly get this out of the shed. See you next time.